The year is 2016. In 50 years it will be 2066. 1,000 years ago it was 1066. So I present to you the Battle of Hastings, solely using MS Paint.
At the start of the year 1066, Edward the Confessor is on the throne. He is the son of the previous king, Aethelred, and the queen consort, Emma of Normandy. However, on January 5th, he dies of natural causes, leaving no heir to his throne. Despite this, there are three eligible choices for the new king: Harold Godwinson, Earl of Wessex, who has the support of the English people; Duke William II of Normandy, who has supposedly been promised the throne in diplomatic talks earlier in the decade; and Harald Hardrade, the Norwegian king, whose father made a deal with one of the previous kings that said should either of them die without an heir, the other would inherit both Norway and England. It transpires that Harold Godwinson is crowned king in March 1066. This of course leaves Hardrade and William displeased, especially Hardrade, who befriends the exiled brother of Harold Godwinson, a man by the name of Tostig, who supports Hardrade's right to the throne. Tostig begins rebelling in the south-east of England, but is pushed by King Harold all the way up to Scotland, where Tostig remains until late August. At this point, Hardrade launches an offence on northern England, aided by the soldiers that Tostig has left in Scotland. The outcome of said battles have Hardrade lose and return to Norway. Despite this, Harold still faces a major threat to his kingdom, that of William of Normandy, who is still keen on becoming the English king and is mobilising an army on the other side of the English Channel. The battle itself features the Saxon army of England led by Harold against William's army of Norman and French troops. William's army sailed to England and landed in Sussex on September 28th before moving west to Hastings. Harold's army moved south from their battle with the Norwegians and set up on the hillside just west of the town of Hastings. William's army consisted of an estimated 10,000 men, approximately 5,000 foot soldiers, 2,500 cavalry, as well as 2,500 bowmen, whereas Harold's army was an approximate 8,000, all of whom were foot soldiers. The battle itself took place on October 14th and lasted all day from sun up to sundown. Harold's men took the higher ground, adopting a classic Saxon shield wall, which had the upper hand against William's flanks of soldiers. William's soldiers began to disperse, apparently under the rumour that William himself had died, thus causing Harold's men to charge out of formation down the hill. William is said to have famously lifted his helm to show he was still living, at which point the Normans rushed back into the battle. This left the Saxons weak and out of formation, losing what advantages they had. However, the major loss was the death of Harold. How Harold died is not confirmed, but supposedly an arrow pierced him through the eye, leaving the floundering Saxons to become annihilated by the rushing Norman cavalry. Of course, the obvious outcome of the battle, being William's victory, led to the first Norman king of England being crowned, and the end of the Anglo-Saxon reign of British lands.